Alright. This is my last video. Hey, is there a lighter? Oh, I got one. Um,
Oh, good. Good.
oh wait, this is my last video, I swear. Actually, I'm at the end of my beer, so this has to be my last video. And I'm gonna have a bad day tomorrow. Wah. I'm gonna have such a bad day tomorrow. Wah. Anyways, I want to end today with an examination into the problem of evil. I was a philosophy major in college, and that was my thesis or dissertation or whatever. I did it on the problem of evil. And like one of my heroes in life was Columbo. Columbo was a detective, but everyone thought he was like a homeless bum, right? But then there'd be this moment where everybody'd be like, ugh, this guy's not as stupid as he thinks, and he knows I'm the killer. Ooh. Right? It was this classic moment. But, I remember, I did my thesis, and I presented it to these two philosophy professors. These two philosophy professors did not even read my thesis, like assholes. And they gave me like an average grade. Like after I did my thesis, and they questioned me about philosophy and all this bullshit. And they're like, oh, this is average, basically. And I was so pissed. Like, fuck you guys. One of them was actually a Dominican priest. Like, that guy's going to hell if he doesn't repent and be saved. But anyways. No, the head of the philosophy department one day, this was like right before graduation. And the head of the philosophy department, it was after class, and nobody cared about classes anymore because everything was done. And after class, everybody gets up, starts, getting ready to leave. And he makes a beeline straight for me, right? And I play the idiot, and but he makes a beeline straight for me, and in a loud voice in front of everybody, he's like, I read your thesis, and I thought it was brilliant. And I like this guy. I think he was cute. He was very sincere and pure and Aristotelian and shit. So in a way, I was honored to receive praise from this guy, right? But I didn't show it. I was like, oh, thank you. I played the idiot. And when I started playing the idiot, he looked at me strange, is this the same guy that wrote this stuff? And it's like, psh, of course it is, dumbass. I totally forgot what my thesis was, though. I tried to look for it a few years back, but I don't have it. Whatever. So this will be me re-examining the problem of evil, I guess. But for me, it's like, if you define suffering as evil, then you deny the healing qualities of transformation, right? Because transformation is painful. It can be very, very painful. And there's this thing on the internet where people are like, Dark Souls saved my life, right? And if you haven't seen it, go look it up. It's very interesting because it talks about this phenomenon, and I think psychologists would talk about this phenomenon. You can't have transformation, personal transformation brings a more satisfied you. When you become a new you have to go through suffering sometimes. And this could be just as simple as learning a new language. Learning a new language is painful. Um, but this doesn't necessarily have to be about morality and stuff. It's just simple. Hey, if you learn something, going through the process of learning is painful. But the self-worth that you get from it is something that is not fleeting. It can't be taken away from it. You'll have it forevers, unlike money and stuff, right? So I think one of the problems that we're living in our day is that we're all suffering in the stagnation and hell of the materialist, right? Because the materialist denies positive transformation, right? The materialist is an asshole. They're toxic. But there's many good-hearted people that get into this materialistic behavior, and it just fucks with them. They're divided. I think you see this a lot with artists. You have a lot of artists out there, and they do great art. They're just like, fuck yeah, this art is great. And then they succeed, and then their art sucks. Right? And I think it's pretty simple. It's like when the artist is making their great stuff, they're like literally starving. They're because they're not going out there doing their job. Because they want to do art, but they'll do their job half-assed while they do their art whole-ass, and they go through this suffering, but then they succeed, and they start getting money, and they start getting a full belly every day. They start to go through this comfort, and then they eventually lose their art. So, at the end of the day, it's all just science. And science would tell us that the materialists are a bunch of toxic assholes.